Recent incidents involving NASCAR's clearance procedure and driver penalties have prompted one of the sport's top drivers, Kyle Busch, to question who should be making such difficult decisions, and whether they should even be permitted. Aren't they only impeding other drivers and creating dangerous situations? Kyle Busch felt compelled to alert NASCAR about this. Not only that, he pursued the organization that had given him so much. Are the times changing for NASCAR? Kyle Busch has always been an outspoken driver, never afraid to share his thoughts. So it's no surprise that he's investigating NASCAR's approval process and whether certain drivers with limited stock car experience should be allowed to race at the Cup level, regardless of their background. Some questioned Helio Castroneves' decision to run the Daytona 500 despite having no previous NASCAR starts, as well as Kathryn Legge's decision to run Phoenix after having no oval starts in any of the national divisions in 2018. Both have extensive experience racing open-wheel and sports cars, but neither has won a race. "Yeah, I don't have a great answer," Busch replied when questioned about the approval procedure at a Saturday media availability. "I feel like I've questioned the approval process for a long time." Being an owner in the Truck Series with Kyle Busch Motorsports, which shut down after the 2023 truck season, and seeing some young drivers get opportunities at different tracks versus my drivers that I was trying to get them opportunities at some of those same tracks getting denied. So I was very confused, and probably I'm even more confused now on how it all works. I think it's broken. Busch went on to say that there's a lot of work that could be done to make it better. He went so far as to ask how executives are picked to engage in such discussions. "I also do feel as though it shouldn't be suit and ties making the decisions always," he continued. "Certainly there can be some that need to be involved, but I do feel like there needs to be fire suits involved in some of those decision-making processes on those that need to be approved or not approved for various activities." Drivers have questioned why Austin Cindric's intentional right hook of Ty Dillon at COTA was not sanctioned, despite previous incidents. NASCAR indicated that it was due to the nature of the incident, but should the outcome be weighed against intent? Busch believes that the nameless executives should not be involved in monitoring such on-track incidents, and he has a suggestion for who should. "The Austin Cindric deal, I don't think suit and ties should be making that. I think you should get penalized by your peers." Could more track time help rookie drivers? The NASCAR Cup Series is currently incredibly limited, with only one fast practice session available most Saturdays. However, as Busch points out, things are not always so straightforward. Testing is tough because obviously, I would say that if we're talking about Kathryn's Legge situation, I don't know how much extra funds there are there with that situation, Live Fast Motorsports, to be able to go out to Phoenix a week early and go test, you know what I mean? But that obviously would be beneficial to not only the team, but also the driver in that case to just go out there and get some reps, get some laps, get some seat time, feel the car out, get it more comfortable than probably what she was able to do in just the short practice that we have. So I'm not sure how that works. If it's a 4-hour session on Thursday or Friday or like the day before or something, I think that that could certainly be a waiver piece that is allowed for, some first-timers. For the time being, no changes are being made, although Busch is not alone in his desire to calibrate the system in the near future. Busch is concerned with more than just these restrictions. He also researched driving fines. This came to light after Busch received a penalty at the race last weekend. The number 8 car was ready to take advantage of the slowed green flag pit cycle. Then he accelerated down pit road. Of course, Busch claimed he had done nothing unlawful, but NASCAR fined him nonetheless. This race was overturned at the time. Drivers had barely begun down pit road, dividing the opening stage in two. Then Chase Briscoe lost a wheel. Ryan Blaney is stranded 2 laps down following a failed pit stop. This allowed a number of drivers to advance up the field. Busch made a prudent pit stop and was willing to accept a top 5 starting position as a result. Well, his penalty kept that from happening. "That's insane," Busch said over the radio, according to Matt Weaver of Sportsnaut. "I never saw a blue light down pit road. I'm on page 3. Kyle Busch is probably talking to the LEDs on his dashboard. This tells drivers roughly how fast they're going down pit road. His team is also unhappy since they were given the penalty late. Richard Childress Racing's number 8 team attempted to contest the penalty. However, they stated on the radio that there was no way to do so, according to Toby Christie. And this made us think about certain words Busch made only a few weeks ago. Could this have spurred NASCAR to retaliate? Kyle Busch believes that a rule change is necessary in response to Austin Cindric's penalty for an incident during last weekend's race at Circuit of the Americas. The sentence imposed on the Team Penske driver has sparked widespread criticism. Although Cindric was fined $50,000 and deducted 50 points for the rear right hook on Ty Dillon, many believe his actions should have resulted in a racing suspension. Speaking with Bob Pockris, Busch reflected on his own experiences and theorized that it could be based off their last name, referring to the 2022 Daytona 500 champion's father, Team Penske CEO Tim Cindric. He explains, "I did it once and maybe twice, got off with it the first time but definitely not the second time. Sat out a whole weekend, 2 more races the second time. You know, that's not his first offense, I don't know if it's his second offense. Like I said, some guys get off on based off who I think their last name is. Yeah, I mean Bubba got it, a suspension, right? At Vegas. I got it before, so I think there's a couple of other guys who have got it, yeah." As a result, Busch believes that the rulebook should be modified. He added, "Put it in the rulebook. A right hook will result in a 1-race suspension, period." Defending the decision, NASCAR Executive Director of Racing Communications Mike Ford explained that the penalty was the result of a unique incident. "The reason we landed on the points and fine is we take every situation and every violation as its own unique incident. And I know fans probably don't love hearing that, but it's said because it's true," Ford explained. "Sure, we do look at past instances to help educate ourselves on how we should handle each subsequent one, but each incident is very different. In this case, we did feel that it was significantly different than the previous 2. And the reasons are it is at a road course with lower speeds to begin with, and the results didn't even draw a caution flag. So those were really the reasons why we chose to err on the side of letting Cindric race this weekend in Phoenix with a fine and a significant driver points penalty. When I hit social media after this penalty is announced, my guess is that there is going to be several people who feel this is the wrong call. And it may not be the popular call, but when we look at penalties, we do not really care how popular we are. We try to do the right thing here." What do you think about that? Does Busch have a point here? Should NASCAR change the way it vets and penalizes its drivers? Let me know what you think in the comments below.